What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching What If Goku Found Broly Early Part 7 and 8. Enter Brohan. Okay. By Saiyan, right? So this story is actually getting really good. And we got a few parts left, about 5 parts left. But, well, after today we had like 3 parts left. But anyway. Y'all ready? I'm ready, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let go.
Wind a bit. Thankfully for him, Gohan was found by the Kais, taken to the sacred world and being healed there. And immediately, he wants to prepare. He's angered. He needs to grow quickly. He needs to find some way to get more power to defeat Buu somehow. Especially since he's here now, and the Kais have advised him, don't go back, it's too dangerous. He wants to go back and help, but he knows that maybe it's better to stay here. Try and gain more power. A surefire way to defeat Majin Buu. This is when he's directed to the Z-Sword by Shin, and not too long after, he's able to pull it from the stone, being able to use it for training. And he's using it pretty fiercely, trying to get the hang of it as quickly as possible. The Kais leave him alone as they go back to Earth to get everyone to retreat, while Gohan continues practicing with the sword, and inadvertently, he breaks it, using some blocks of Kachian that Shin left around for him to train with, not realizing that it would end up breaking the sword. This releases Elder Kai from it, and as the Kais return with everyone else, they're amazed. Everyone's glad to find out that Gohan's alive, but more importantly, Shin is terrified at the idea that the Z-Sword broke. Kibito has no idea of what to think either. But then they see another Kai standing there, introducing himself as Elder Kai. This brings us to where we are now. Broly is on the planet, as well as all the other survivors. And Gohan's there with Elder Kai, who offered to do some sort of ritual on him to unlock his power. It seems like a surefire way to defeat Buu, so he wants to go for it. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Paragus are starting to be restored, with Broly being healed too, although his power is so immense that it's hard to fully heal him. Vegeta regains consciousness and is now his normal self. Same for Paragus. And Vegeta actually surprisingly apologizes, turning over to Broly. He should have realized, even with this great power he got from being possessed, it still wouldn't have been enough to defeat Broly. No way. And it just caused more issues if anything. And Broly's disappointed still, but he's glad to see Vegeta acknowledges it. As for Paragus, he swears he was unwillingly possessed. Maybe part of him would have accepted it either way, but unlike Vegeta, he was a bit more easy to get control of. Gohan sits around while Elder Kai dances around him, and the 4 other fighters watch on, just confused as to what's even happening. And Shin walks over to them. They need to make some sort of plan. 16 pitches in. He's unsure of what they could even do here, and he wants to get help too. It's probably just like Cell. He won't be able to be absorbed. And this makes everyone worry even more because he brought up Cell and they completely forgot about him. Crap, he's still out there. But he's not the concern right now. 16 continues, saying that Buu won't be able to absorb him. Although even with the upgrades he's received, this still might be beyond his capabilities. Bulma has continuously upgraded him, mainly at the request of Vegeta, and now he even has the ability to regenerate a bit, having nanotech within him that allows him to rebuild himself and learn from injuries. Think of it like Metal Cooler, but way less intense. He thinks that he could act as a decoy, trying to use it as a way to gather some data on Buu, and help hold him off if needed. He'll act as the main target, while the others try and formulate a way to actually defeat Buu. The thing is though, they can't go back right now. Gohan still has the ritual being done, and this is gonna take a while. That's their predicament. They can't really waste too much more time here, but they kind of need to. But Broly says they should go back without Gohan. Let him stay here. He'll be the backup. And they wonder why he's so confident in it. Well, he's seen what potential awakenings can do to people. He saw how much it affected Piccolo, and he can only imagine how much it'll affect Gohan. Granted, this is a different method for having his potential unlocked. But knowing Gohan's immense latent strength, he's sure that whatever power he's granted, it will be enough to defeat Buu.
I don't think he'd be worse Piccolo strong, but he'd be strong.
But even if not, they still have a good chance of at least holding Buu off. Broly with his full power. Vegeta now returned to normal, 16 there. And Paragus has a little bit of extra strength. He keeps Piccolo's words in mind. Piccolo told him to hold back his anger. He has to take control over it and not let it overtake him. He knows how to use the full power form by now, but this is the first time he's using it in an actual battle, one where he actually encounters real anger, real rage at somebody's death. But Vegeta chimes in. He tells Broly not to do that. Listen to his Saiyan instincts. He gets more power from anger. Who cares if he goes berserk? What they need to do now is defeat Buu. Then they'll worry about that. But Broly says he can't. If he goes berserk, everyone dies even if they manage to defeat Buu. But Vegeta tells him he's already gained control over it twice. He's learned to harness that anger. Even if he doesn't feel like it, he's a Saiyan. He can overcome anything. And even if he does go berserk, Broly could probably still regain control. And Paragus surprisingly agrees with Vegeta. He's seen Broly's power. He knows Broly can overcome this. Right. Sure, it's not going to be easy, but they did it once when he first acted as Super Saiyan. And then he did it again training with Piccolo. Hell, he did it with Wrathful too. Even if this is the first time he's using the full power form in the real world, he'll find a way to make it work here. The group waits around a bit, trying to buy as much time as possible. They watch Buu. At some point they are going to have to head back, but they don't need to head back immediately. Buu goes around wreaking havoc, and it's tough for them to watch. But they don't really have a choice. If they go too early, Gohan's never going to be able to come in during a battle. But if they wait too long, then there won't be anything to save. If he destroys cities and kills people, that's one thing. They could bring those back. But if he destroys Earth completely, well, that's another issue. But wait, that reminds them. Gohan tells them, go to Earth, get Dende. Make sure the Dragon Balls can't be destroyed. No one else even realized that. Shin says it's good thinking. He immediately teleports to Earth, coming back with Dende too. Dende's glad to be away from there, and he actually has some great news. He's gathered some of the Dragon Balls. It was dangerous with all the battles going on, but he was able to get some of them. This is even better, so if Earth is destroyed, they can restore it. But there's still some Dragon Balls on Earth. They don't have all of them. Then they got these as a precaution, and it's too dangerous to go back now and search for more. They wait around a little longer, seeing what Boo will do. He continuously destroys things, angering the group even further, but they have to wait. They need to time this perfectly. Best case, they can head back with Gohan. Worst case, they'll have to head back a little bit before he gets his power awakened. But it looks like they can't wait that long. Boo is getting impatient, destroying cities at a more rapid pace, turning everybody into candy and enjoying it. And also, Gohan is worried about some of the others. People have already been revived by the Dragon Balls, and who might be killed by Boo. Even with Earth's Dragon Balls here, they might not be able to revive everybody. Things are just getting worse the more they think about it. But then Vegeta takes charge. No more waiting. They're gonna stop that monster. It doesn't matter if Gohan's there with them or not. And he tells Shit, take them there. The others agree, and Paragus even jumps in too, saying he'll search for the Dragon Balls. His strength might not be enough to contend with Boo, but he can at least do that. Get the last remaining two, and bring them back here for Dende just in case. They all go to Earth, and just like Vegeta said, right away, Broly decides to unleash his full power. They head into battle flying towards Boo, with Broly charging up energy as he goes along. And Vegeta looks at Broly, telling him to remember what he said before. Broly's still a little bit hesitant, but he decides to go with it anyways. They meet up with Boo, who's glad to see them, surprised that Vegeta's still around, no longer possessed, and Broly's back, healed too. This'll make things fun, and Boo taunts Broly. He'll make this even worse for him. He'll defeat Broly using the power of his two masters, two of his closest friends, Goku and Piccolo. And Broly's glad that he's trying to make
Broly.
it. This allows him to unleash more power, transforming with a furious aura as he unleashes his full strength, nothing held back. Immediately losing control, but still having sights on Boo. Vegeta charges into Super Saiyan 2, with 16 getting ready to battle as well. A 3v1 ensues, as Paragus hunts for the Dragon Balls, and Gohan waits on the Sacred World of Kai's. They keep him updated with it too, and Gohan's getting impatient. It hasn't been a full day yet, but even then, Elder Kai's not sure if that'll unlock his full potential. He might need even more time, but Gohan's getting even more worried. He remembers too, Vegeta's one of the people that's already been revived by Earth's Dragon Balls. They can't let him die again. Sure, they can go to Namek, but who knows if a Namek will be around by the time they even try to do that. If Boo somehow wins there, destroying Earth, who's to say he won't go to Namek next, destroying the Dragon Balls there? He definitely has knowledge of it, and he could go there. Elder Kai tells him to be a little bit more patient, but he does have a backup plan just in case. The battle on Earth continues. Goku is far too strong for everybody. Even with Broly's full power unleashed, and the other two fighters there helping him, he's still having such a tough time against Boo. But surprisingly, he's not fully reserved. He has some sort of control. He's not attacking his allies. It's just, he's not fighting with 100% precision. And Vegeta keeps trying to talk to Broly, trying to get him to fully harness it once more. Let that anger fuel him. Use it. But at the same time, remember, if he doesn't utilize it properly, everyone's dead here, including his father, his friends, his masters. It's all resting on him. And Broly could hear Vegeta through this. It does serve to make him a bit angry, causing him to grow a little bit more. But he's also trying to restrain himself, trying to focus more of that power. But Boo keeps taunting him. It's no use. No matter what they do, it won't work. Remember, he has all of Goku and Piccolo's knowledge too. He knows Broly's not going to be able to harness that, unleashing that full strength in an actual battle. He hasn't done that before. He's trying to discourage Broly, but Vegeta tells him not to listen. Back on the Sacred World of Kai's, Shin teleports back in with Paragus. He found them, the last two Dragon Balls. He gives them to Dende, and then Gohan stands up, quickly turning over to Shin. Elder Kai tells him the ritual's not finished, but Gohan says it doesn't matter. He has enough power now. He can feel it. And Elder Kai told him about his backup plan too. He'll use that. He wants to go back to Earth now and help. And Shin asks Gohan if he's really sure. He is. A new fighter enters the battle, Ultimate Gohan. And this does help turn the tide a bit.
You didn't even
Gohan
finish Gohan?
at a bad
Come on,
time.
man.
His friends are losing. They're beaten up badly. 16's regeneration only goes so far, but thankfully his infinite energy allows him to keep fighting. For Vegeta and Broly though, the same can't be said. Vegeta's on his last legs. He can barely stand anymore. This guy is too powerful. But as Gohan enters the battlefield, he sees Vegeta being held up by Boo, using it to taunt Broly. Vegeta senses Gohan's power, turning back around and smiling. He tells Boo, it's over for him now. Gohan launches in, getting a direct hit on Boo. And Broly sees him, regaining some control seeing Gohan. He has to utilize what Piccolo and Vegeta were saying. Both pieces of advice could help, but Boo says it doesn't matter how many fighters they have. It doesn't matter how much stronger Gohan is. They're not going to win here. He knocks Broly and Gohan back, still holding Vegeta up too. Vegeta is able to free himself, kicking Boo right in the chin, with 16 standing beside him. Broly stands up, with Gohan getting up next to him too. He'd love to use this power to try and defeat Boo himself, but he knows he can't. It's too risky. He turns to Broly. He needs Broly to trust him on this one. He holds out a hand, and in it is an earring. Broly slowly simmers down. His eyes return to normal, and he looks at Gohan confused. What is this? Gohan says he doesn't have much time to explain, but he attempts to. Vegeta sees them talking back there and realizes that he might need to buy them some time. He won't back down here against Boo. He and 16 will act as a perfect distraction. And Boo taunts them. What, are those other two giving up? And Vegeta says he has no clue what they're doing, but they're definitely not giving up. There's a bright flash of light behind them, with Boo looking on amazed. And Vegeta too, sensing this power. 16 can detect it. That strength. It's neither Gohan or Broly. Vegeta's jaw drops, but his face turns to a grin once more. Looking over at Boo, seeing the terror on his face, he tells Boo, it's over now. He has no clue of what they did, but he's still confident that it'll work. Boo suddenly vanishes from sight with a shockwave. Somebody moved over there and hit him so fast that they couldn't even see it. But now they see him. A new fighter standing over there. 16 and Vegeta hear two voices, asking if they're okay. And Vegeta doesn't even know what to think. He senses their two powers together. Who is this? What is this? The man looks over at Vegeta and smiles, saying Gohan and Broly have joined forces, combining their two powers together, possibly permanently. They're not worried. They could probably reverse it later somehow with the Dragon Balls. But they saw this as the only way to defeat Boo. This is a brand new fighter, one who refers to himself as Brohan.
Hey, that whole dude look clean. I ain't gonna lie.
Funny that name's
That's so
which just makes it
clean.
even better. Boo launches back in, furious. Brohan simply cocks a fist back, launching it right at Boo's face, completely tearing his head clean off. The severed head of Boo launches a beam at Brohan, with him grabbing it, throwing it right back, destroying Boo's head. A new head regenerates on the body. He stretches an arm out trying to grab Brohan, but he grabs Boo's arm, slamming him to the side, then throwing him up in the air, and Boo can't even register Brohan's movements. He immediately meets Boo up in the sky, ascending upwards just as quickly as him. Boo stretches himself out acting as a parachute, as Brohan glares upwards. He then powers up, surrounded by a fierce white aura. This is Ultimate Brohan, summoning all the latent potential of Gohan and of Broly, significantly multiplied by the fusion, of course. But Brohan is still unsure. What is he supposed to do here? He can't just flat out kill Boo, because then he'll be killing Goku and Piccolo, who can't be revived again. They do have Namex Dragon Balls, but still, they don't like the idea of just killing those two. But Piccolo did kind of want Broly to do it, even as much as it pains them to do so. But they then hear a voice in their heads. It's Dende. He tells them they have a new plan. Kill Boo here and now. Don't hesitate. They'll use Namex Dragon Balls to bring everyone back. But Dende still knows a way to help with Earth's Dragon Balls. He makes a wish from Shenron, asking him to restore all the fighters on Earth. Vegeta suddenly feels rejuvenated. So does Brohan, with 16 being fully repaired as well. And Paragus watches on from the Sacred World of Kais as this all happens, and chuckles. They're all such amazing fighters. He can never hope to reach that level, but he knows Earth is in safe hands. And Brohan hears another voice yelling in his head. It's Paragus, talking to both Broly and Gohan. He tells them the two have the power to finish this. Do it now. If anyone can accomplish it, it's these two, especially fused together. Boo looks on and fears Brohan begins powering up even more, not holding anything back. Under his breath, he apologizes, saying sorry to Goku and Piccolo, but he'll see them soon. He cups his hands together. A greenish aura swirls around him.
Okay.
But Boo's not just going to stand there letting him attack. He begins charging an attack of his own, but as he does so, a couple rings of energy form around him, made by Vegeta and 16 below, utilizing all their returned power to try and restrain Boo.
Okay.
And Brohan smiles.
Teamwork.
thanking them. His eyes morph, turning to a fierce yellow color like Broly's. Boo's able to break free from the restraints, but it's already too late. A massively powerful Kamehameha hits him head on.
Why he got the fucking
disintegrating
shock
every
collar
little
on?
last bit of it. They can't waste any more time here, especially with the advantage they've just been given. And Brohan powers down, glad to have won here. He lands back down on the surface of the planet, meeting up with 16 and Vegeta again. And Vegeta can't believe what he just witnessed, that strength they had. And he asked, how are they supposed to defuse now? Well, that's the thing. It's permanent. They can't. They were hoping to use the Dragon Balls for that, which maybe they still can. But suddenly, they then defuse, surprisingly. Not realizing that they just used up a bunch of power and that ran down the fusion. They just assumed that Dende used the Dragon Balls, but apparently he didn't. Dende says they just defused on their own. Weird. Elder Kai never mentioned anything about that. And they wonder why Dende was so confident in this plan all of a sudden. Well, he got in contact with Namek, and they said they'd be glad to help here. Purunga was upgraded before, and he could actually be used to revive everybody all at once, which they kinda were gonna need to do anyways. Thankfully, Purunga could actually bring back people multiple times. And thankfully, the damage is restored. Everyone's brought back too. And thanks to Broly as well as Gohan, they successfully defeated Boo, with Goku and Piccolo proud of the both of them, and Vegeta even acknowledging the great strength that Broly has. It seems everyone came out of this with a pretty good experience, although there is going to be a consequence of this, that immense power that Brohan unleashed. It was enough to disturb someone's nap. It was sensed all across the universe, causing a premonition of sorts for somebody. Far away, on Beerus' planet, he awakens. Although a bit groggy, trying to fall back asleep, but realizing he's not going to be able to get back into this nap. And he's a little bit pissed off that someone disturbed his nap, but at the same time, he wants to figure out who it was. He had some sort of premonition about a rival of sorts, and he wonders if that's who did it. Back on Earth, Beerus arrives. After a short time skip after the Boo saga, and this is even earlier than his normal arrival, and the first person he encounters is Vegeta. Interesting, the Saiyan Prince is still alive. And he asks, does he know anything about the Super Saiyan God?
Hell no.
Vegeta has no idea, but he wonders, is he referring to Broly? Is that what he is? There's no way. It can't be. But the possibility is there. He has no clue, though. And this is where we'll leave off for now.
Okay.
With Beerus inquiring about the Super Saiyan God, Vegeta wonders. Well, they know about Super Saiyan, specifically 1 and 2. And there is also Broly, who has a weird green-haired version of Super Saiyan, a lot more powerful than their versions of it. They still have no clue of what it really is. They think he's some sort of mutant, some anomaly maybe. But it could actually be the Super Saiyan God that Beerus is looking for. That would explain why he's so unique. So Beerus is intrigued. Take him to this Broly guy. Of course, Vegeta's not going to turn that down. And most of the others learn of Beerus being there. With the Pure Saiyans and Piccolo coming over, Paragus warns Broly not to go. Goku and Broly have no idea of who Beerus is, but Paragus actually does. He was actually around on Planet Vegeta when Beerus visited, actually even witnessing him firsthand. He knows if Beerus gets mad, they're all gonna die, and he's warning everyone to not go. But they really don't have a choice. If anything, that's just gonna piss Beerus off even more if they don't meet him. And he wants to see Broly specifically. This makes Broly very nervous. Not only the fact that it's some dude from outer space calling himself a god of destruction, but the fact that Paragus is so terrified of him saying not to go. It's actually surprising to Goku and Piccolo. Seeing Broly actually kind of nervous again for once. It's not too abnormal, but with him being one of the strongest in the group, it is off-putting, and it kind of spreads to them too. Beerus is glad to meet Broly, and asks him to show off his power immediately. And skip that Super Saiyan stuff. Vegeta actually showed him Super Saiyan 1 and 2 in the meantime. He just wanted to see whatever Broly has, that supposed Super Saiyan God form. So, Broly ends up transforming. And Beerus is kind of impressed. I mean, it looks very brutish. That doesn't look like a god form at all. And he senses no godly ki within him. But it does seem decently powerful at least, and Broly comments too. He has no clue why, but after fusing with Gohan, it seems his potential is drawn out a little bit more, briefly awakened after fusing with Gohan and transforming into Ultra. He has grown stronger since the Buu Saga, noticeably so, and Beerus wants to see that power showcased. So, the two of them start fighting, and surprisingly, without any godly ki, Beerus is actually taken aback by how strong Broly is. I mean, it's not anything in comparison to him, but by mortal standards, he's surprisingly powerful. Definitely more so than any of the other people here, and that makes him wonder even more. Where is the Super Saiyan God? If it's some sort of form maybe, well he wants to see how to obtain it, specifically for Broly. Enough time has already passed from the Buu Saga to the point where they can actually use the Dragon Balls again, giving them the perfect chance to just ask Shenron about it. Maybe he knows. And of course, he's able to give the answer, telling them how to perform the Super Saiyan God ritual. And I don't think I need to tell you that there's definitely enough people here. It's the same crew as last time, except instead of Videl, Broly's in it. And he's also the one that's going to become the Super Saiyan God, at the request of Beerus. Of course, Goku and Vegeta definitely want to try that out as well. But Beerus really wants it to be Broly, which kind of worries them. They know Broly's not really good at controlling his power, so having him get Super Saiyan God, they're a little bit concerned about how that's going to go. Beerus doesn't care. He'll be able to stop Broly. No matter how strong he gets as a Super Saiyan God, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Well, he's been warned and it looks like they can't really do anything else about it. Vegeta's absolutely terrified, as is pretty much everyone else there, including Broly himself. But the ritual is done, as Broly ascends up into the air, surrounded by a strange glow, and then descending. Not looking too much different besides his hair changing into a reddish color. And he seems to be completely lucid here. That's really weird because normally when Broly transforms, they expect it to go either way. But he's actually got it under control here. And Whis says just as he expected. Even if Broly does have issues controlling his power, it seems that a godly form is more than tranquil enough for him to handle. No one can sense his power, but they can feel the pressure coming off him just from his aura. But as for Beerus, he can sense it, and he is elated. He tells Broly immediately, they gotta start fighting, especially in case that power's fleeting. He wants to test it out right now, and Broly has no idea if he's gonna be able to handle it. Not in the sense that he's gonna go berserk and can't control himself, but in the sense that he doesn't know his own strength right now. It's so different from what he's used to. They ascend up into the air and begin fighting, and Beerus is immediately impressed. The power that this mortal has. Well, he's not a mortal anymore, but still, to think that he got this strong from this transformation. Beerus needs to actually use a little bit more of his power. With the absurd growth Broly has, combined now with his access to godly ki, the raw strength he's giving off is just indescribable. And Beerus tells Broly, he definitely is his rival. He was the one destined to become a Super Saiyan God. Broly is still worried though. With this great power, of course he can go all out against Beerus, but he's worried about using it in any other setting. There's just so much that what if he accidentally causes damage to places where he didn't mean to? Like, what if he's fighting someone on Earth and just accidentally blows up everything? His ki control can only go so far, and then now with this great jump in power, he's not sure how he's going to be able to control it, especially with his experiences from previous forms. And Beerus tells him, it's just like we said, godly ki is a whole different animal. It's not like his normal Super Saiyan transformations. Godly ki, especially in a form like this as a Super Saiyan God, Broly should be able to handle it. And if anything, this is the right path for him. A power that's easy for him to control, something that he'd harness pretty quickly. And especially because Beerus knows he has great potential with this form, he wants Broly to continue training with it. He wants him to grow stronger as a Super Saiyan God. And they're going to definitely be fighting more in the future too. Broly honestly has no clue what to think about this. But Beerus tells him to be excited. He's just become a god. He's going to be one of the strongest people in the universe, maybe even surpassing Beerus one day.
You are.
He's already making Beerus use a good chunk of his power. And as much as Beerus hates to admit it, Broly may have the potential to surpass him. The explosive battle concludes. They land back on Earth with Broly de-transforming, absorbing the power into his base, not even realizing it. And Beerus tells him to come to a consensus. Broly's going to come to Beerus' planet, training under Whis. Beerus needs to make sure he can use his power to its fullest potential. Yeah, that's my fire alarm in the background. I should probably change the battery. Oh well, just ignore it like I'm doing. Speaking of ignoring things, Beerus just ends up ignoring Vegeta and Goku.
I didn't even hear it.
They want to go train with Whis too. That sounds awesome. They want to become Super Saiyan gods. And Broly actually vouched for them. He tells Beerus he needs their assistance, but Beerus says he's going to be fine. If anything, he should learn to not rely on them as crutches. And Broly doesn't think he has been doing so, but Beerus doesn't really want them to come. Broly's enough there, and he doesn't really know how they can match up to him at all. He saw Vegeta's Super Saiyan 2, and honestly, he wasn't really too impressed. And maybe them as Super Saiyan gods would be nice, but nothing in comparison to Broly. He'd rather fully focus on Broly. And Paragus urges Broly, don't try to push back against Beerus. And honestly, Vegeta kind of agrees. So unfortunately, they're going to be staying on Earth right now.
What they going to get Super Saiyan 4 salad?
But Goku and Vegeta aren't going to give up there. No, they need to go train there. They want to become Super Saiyan gods. There's got to be some way to impress Beerus and Whis. Maybe they can do the god ritual themselves. But there's a pretty big issue with that. Broly's already gone, and they have no way to contact Beerus and Whis. And this is not too long after the Buu saga, so Videl's not even pregnant, so she can't even join in. They actually do not have enough people here. Vegeta says there's also Tarble maybe, but he has no clue of how to reach him, and it might be wasted effort if anything. They need to think outside the box. Do something else to get Beerus' attention. Broly definitely will come back eventually. I mean, he's not just going to stay there permanently. They already confirmed that to them. And by the time Beerus is back, they need to impress
there's no
him
Trunks and Goten.
Vegeta immediately goes to Bulma, telling her to upgrade 16 again. 16 already tells Vegeta he's as strong as he possibly can be, and Bulma actually vouches for this too. Is he doubting her work? And even if she could upgrade him even more, I mean, she's kind of running out of ideas for how to upgrade him. She's upgraded him so much that she has no clue of how to make him even stronger than he already is. But Vegeta tells her, whatever she could do it. So she gets to work trying to improve him even further. And it's tough, but she's able to upgrade him somewhat, making him a very powerful training partner for Vegeta. And immediately, they head into the Room of Spirit and Time. But what's Goku up to? He doesn't really want to go in the Room of Spirit and Time right now. Instead, he's got two other training partners, Gohan and Piccolo, both of whom are above him. And he's actually surprised. Doesn't Gohan want to become a Super Saiyan God as well? Well, it could be cool, but he doesn't want to go to Beerus' planet necessarily. Besides, now with Ultimate, he's got more than enough power, and he can keep growing with this, maybe grow even beyond it somehow. And as for Piccolo, his orange form, that's more than enough. Without Broly, he's the strongest person on Earth actually. So in a surprising turn of events, the Saiyans are behind. Goku and Vegeta, they're not at the top, probably not even close. Broly, Piccolo, Gohan, 16, all of them are ahead of those two. If anything, this will just push them even further though. A lot of time ends up passing.
Let's see what they do.
Broly starts training on Beerus' planet, growing far stronger. He does go back to Earth occasionally. Beerus does want to get some food from there, and Broly obviously wants to go home once in a while. He's making great progress. He hasn't evolved Super Saiyan God in any way, but he's still growing in terms of power. And Beerus is absolutely stunned at how Broly's growing. Every time Beerus visits Earth, Goku and Vegeta try to impress him in some way. And after all this time, at one point, Beerus is just a little bit too annoyed by them. So he takes the bait and asks them, what are they doing? What can they do to impress him? Without godly powers, he wants them to impress him somehow. And they've actually unlocked the perfect thing. Together, they both begin transforming, going into Super Saiyan 2, but start powering up beyond that. They tell Beerus this is their true potential. Look how much they've grown just in the past few months alone. With their rigorous training and motivation, they're able to get a level beyond Super Saiyan 2, showing off Super Saiyan 3 simultaneously. And Beerus honestly isn't too impressed. I mean, they're definitely way stronger than before, and for everybody else there, the form is impressive, despite the drawbacks that it does have. But it does show Beerus these two are very motivated, and they have the potential to grow pretty quickly. Maybe not on Broly's level, but they still could grow pretty quick. Alright, well, how about this? Let's do the Super Saiyan God ritual on them. Now with Broly here, they can actually try it. There's not really too much risk here. If they're too weak, Beerus isn't going to take them, but they get to keep the form. And if they're strong enough, Beerus will take them. So once again, the Super Saiyan God ritual is done. Twice actually, both on Goku and Vegeta, as they showcase their new Super Saiyan God forms. As Beerus expected, it's not as impressive as Broly's. Still, impressive though. And he does see the potential that they have. He ends up facing them, both at once actually, not individually. And even with this, they still don't put up as much of a challenge as Broly did. Not that Broly was too much of a challenge for him, but still. He was definitely a tougher opponent than both of them combined. And Beerus wonders if they'll ever reach his level. They definitely have the dedication for it though, and they could at least try that. So, reluctantly he decides, yeah, why not? Take them to his planet. They're Super Saiyan gods now, so he might as well. especially because it'll help Broly grow even more, since he'll have more training partners,
Right.
and the fact that Broly's more comfortable with them around anyways. Oh my god, that fire alarm. It's just for this video, I promise. It adds character.
Hey, man, I
But
must
that's
be
not
used
the
to
only
it.
thing
I
that's
ain't
been
hear it.
happening here. Frieza's army tries to collect the Dragon Balls, and they're successful in doing so, using Shenron to revive Frieza. They've been spying on Earth, planning their revenge, and they're able to figure this out, get the Dragon Balls, revive Frieza, and have him destroy them. Of course, Frieza's glad to do so, and he surprisingly begins training. But amidst his training, there's somewhat of a weird occurrence. Ships from his army watch nearby. With Frieza training on some barren planet, all the scouters on the ship go off. They sense a strong power nearby, and it's not Frieza's. Frieza looks up, seeing some sort of light in the sky. It slowly descends down on the planet, and a man lands nearby,
Fucking
telling
Shell.
Frieza he sensed him all the way out in space, wondering what that power was. Well, he knew who it was. He could easily pick up on that key. And Frieza asks, who the hell is this guy? And what does he want? The man introduces himself. His name is Cell. He knows of Frieza. Actually, he's part Frieza. He's been looking for a good fight for a while, having grown a lot stronger, needing some way to test out his power. And Frieza seems like the
Second form
perfect target,
Cell is
especially because he's back now and he's
disgusting.
grown stronger. With Cell wondering how Frieza even did come back, and Frieza can't even believe what he's hearing. This man, he's part Frieza? He's a faker, an imposter. But it's not just that. Cell says he's also part of others too, including some of the Saiyans. Actually, not even from this timeline. But Frieza says if he wants to fight, he's kind of in over his head. He doesn't realize how strong Frieza is now, no matter what intel he has on Frieza. And Frieza starts to transform, showing off his new golden form. He doesn't have much practice with it. He's only been training for about 2 months by now. But he has it, and it's definitely a lot stronger. And Cell's interested. He likes that form. He wonders if he could do it too. More importantly though, he's aiming for perfection. In his mind, a fight like this could help him grow even more. Maybe he could even absorb Frieza's power. Cell's been waiting for so long, trying to find a way to become perfect. He's been training, of course, grow a lot
I'm
stronger,
perfect.
but he still wants the perfection. And maybe getting power through battle could help. Frieza launches in, and Cell's actually able to keep up pretty easily. And Frieza can't believe it. Someone's able to match this power? And Cell reminds him who he is, all the people he's comprised of. He's genetically built to be the perfect warrior, and he's almost at that perfection. He tries to stab Frieza with his tail, but Frieza's barely able to jump out of the way. And Cell thinks he could drain Frieza of all his power, but he doesn't know if it's worth it, especially for the influence that Frieza might have on him. Cell is nearly perfect as is. He doesn't want to ruin that by having Frieza muddy the waters. But he can steal a little bit of energy. He continuously tries to strike Frieza with his tail, and eventually lands a hit, taking some energy from him, more data that'll help him grow stronger, and rejuvenate him a little bit. He tells Frieza honestly he's a bit disappointed. He expected more of Frieza after sending that power. And it seems like he's running out of stamina pretty quickly too. That golden form is just flashy, there's nothing behind it. But he thanks Frieza for the experience. And angrily, Frieza launches a blast down towards the planet, blowing it up, laughing. He says Cell's not going to survive this. But he does. Frieza floats there in space, bloodied and beaten. All the ships are barely able to get out of the way, but as Frieza's eyes dart around, he then sees Cell. Cell already told him so many times, he's part Frieza. He could survive in space. And with a single attack, he finally wiped away Frieza. Well, at least he had some fun here, but it was kind of a waste. But Cell has a new idea though. He looks around at all those other Frieza Force ships, and his mind begins racing. Maybe they have the resources available. I mean, there's some pretty good scientists with the Frieza Force most likely. They could have the resources he needs. Cell hasn't just been training. He's been spending his time researching, trying to find materials for himself. He wants to build the parts that he needs. Because theoretically, if he just needs to absorb an android, can't he just create another one just like that? Or at least finding the pieces that he needs to actually activate that perfection. From his own innate knowledge, and with an android already in him, he could probably try to construct the parts he needs, especially with the help from the Frieza Force's resources, and maybe their scientists. And that'll be perfect. Once he does that, he can then go back to Earth, and face the others. But he doesn't necessarily want to kill them. Well, unless they end up disappointing like Frieza. He can't keep them around. If they are actually impressive to fight, it would be a waste to kill them. He's obsessed with fighting, so if he kills them, then what fun is he going to have then? It's going to be a repeat of what he just went through. The ships try to rocket off, but Cell chases after them, punching through one of the airlocks and entering that way. He tells them now that Frieza's gone, they're going to be under new management, and he only has one use for them, their tech. The rest of the Frieza Force watches on terrified, but they have nothing else to do here. They kind of just have to listen to Cell. And as Cell begins plotting his next move, this is where we'll leave off for now.
Okay.
So, what do you guys think is going to happen next?
I don't even know what's gonna happen next. I'm so confused, nigga. I don't even know what you did, Charlotte. Saying you went everywhere with this shit right here, boy. But I like it, though. I like it. So anyway, shout out to Charlotte Chan for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. And let's get to 1,500 by the end of the year. Peace.